If you're looking to passively invest in multifamily real estate, you need to increase your opportunity deal flow. There are literally thousands of deal sponsors out there, but who is the best fit for you? In this video, I'm going to cover 5 ways that you can meet more deal sponsors so you can scale your multifamily investing. So make sure you hit the subscribe button right now so you don't miss more videos about building wealth through multifamily real estate. And if you don't know me, I'm Seth Ferguson, a 13-year real estate veteran, host of a real estate TV show, host of a real estate investing podcast, and I'm also the author of the real estate book, Sell for More. So let's get right into it and talk about 5 ways you can increase your deal flow by meeting more deal sponsors. Before we get into the 5 ways you can meet more deal sponsors, I think it's really important to talk about the deal flow funnel. Just because as a passive investor, you're going to be employing the same type of funnel that an active investor or a deal sponsor would put into place to find deals. So let's just draw the picture of the funnel right here. So let's say you are a deal sponsor and you're actively looking for properties. Well, first of all, we know that most deals come from brokers or direct to seller. So the brokers would be up here, and then you have to vet or underwrite the properties. So that's going to be the second part of the funnel. And then you have your LOIs, letter of intents, and then you're going to have closings and down here. So you're going to put usually on average 200 deals up at the top to get 1 to 3 good deals under contract potentially, depending on the type of market you're in and the stage of the market cycle. Now for you as a passive real estate investor, it's all about deal opportunities, so passive investment opportunities. So at the top, you're going to have deal sponsors. So these are going to be syndicators and fund managers, real estate fund managers, because just like how brokers usually control most of the active listing flow, deal sponsors are going to be your gateway to investment opportunities. So at the top, you're going to have all your deal sponsors up here. And then in the middle part where we would be doing letters of intents, and then we would be underwriting, vetting the deals, what we would be doing is we would be vetting the deal sponsors themselves. So asking for referrals, figuring out how they work, their personalities, because let's face it, there are hundreds and millions and thousands of different personalities out there. And while one personality might work really well for one person, it might not work for the other. Just like, with me, there's people who really enjoy working with me and I get along great with them, but another personality, it might not be the right fit. And that's okay. It's all about figuring out who you are most comfortable working with, because in any sort of real estate investment relationship, you are investing for not a short period of time. Usually the hold periods are 5 to 7 years, if not more. So you have to make sure you have a good relationship and are able to communicate well, and that your communication styles are very similar. So everybody feels like they're being taken care of really, really well. So after you have all your sponsors at the top, you start vetting them and then get them on the phone, figure out how they work. And then at the end, instead of closing on a deal, you would actually close on an investment and invest your money into that syndication or fund. Because a lot of passive investors don't really think of it this way, but you are really working a funnel just like an active investor would be. Except the difference is you're funneling sponsors and fund managers and syndicators and then vetting them and putting them through the entire funnel process. So let's get into the 5 ways you can increase your deal flow by meeting more sponsors. So the first way to add more sponsors into the top of your funnel is to ask for referrals from current investors that you know. Referrals, I tell everybody, is the best way to get recommendations. You can ask the person point blank about their experiences, what they find the sponsor does well, what the sponsor could improve on, what sort of issues have come up, how did the sponsor handle unforeseen circumstances, just like coronavirus, which is why I'm in major need of a haircut. All these reasons and all these things you can ask a person when you're asking for referrals. I strongly recommend you always seek out referral sources as the #1 source because that's going to give you a really accurate picture of what the person is all about. And also, if they're good friends with you, chances are you enjoy their communication style and their personality. It's a good fit. So it's most likely that that friend that you know would find another sponsor out there that is a good fit for them. So it increases your chances of finding somebody that works really well for you. Number 2 is conferences. Real estate conferences are great for active investors and also passive investors, because if you're a passive investor, you can go to a conference and there's going to be people speaking on stage, there's going to be other vendors and exhibitors there, and as luck would have it, I'm actually hosting the Multifamily Conference next May, so May 2022 in Toronto. We have people coming from all over the United States and Canada to Toronto, and Kevin O'Leary is our keynote speaker. Really excited to have a shark from Shark Tank. So head on over to multifamilyconference.ca to get your tickets. Early bird tickets are going on sale very, very shortly in the next couple days. So just want to invite everybody out to the Multifamily Conference, so multifamilyconference.ca. But it doesn't have to be the conference we are hosting. It can be any other conferences out there. But if you're a passive investor, don't just think it's for active real estate investors. Go there, talk to the speakers, talk to the exhibitors. And again, we're all about adding more sponsors to the top of your deal funnel. And as you work them through the process, you'll find people don't work well for you, but we're all finding here, all we're doing is finding strategies to add more people to the top so you can start vetting more people and in turn get more passive investing opportunities. Number 3 would be podcasts and YouTube as well. I'm a big fan of YouTube and video, but I also host a very successful podcast called Real Wealth Through Real Estate. And what I do on the podcast is I interview a new investor every single week. So if you are a passive investor looking for experts out there actively doing deals, check out some major podcasts out there and check up on the guests. Reach out to them. With my podcast, I'm sure most other people do the same thing, is they'll actually have the guest tell people where they can get in touch if they're interested in learning more. Now, it's up to you to decide if that person is good or not, and that's going to come in the vetting process. But by listening to podcasts, and if you get a good vibe from the person, if you're really resonating, or if their story is resonating with you and their style of doing business, add them to your list and then start the vetting process and really narrow things down. But podcast and of course YouTube, a great resource for potential deal sponsors. Number 4 is meetup groups. These can be in person or virtual. I prefer in person. You get a really good read on people, and I think there's a whole lot of energy to be found in an in-person setup. That's my preference. And I host one in my area too, so we always have guest speakers coming in. And if you are a passive real estate investor looking to expand your deal flow, well, this is a great time at Meetups. Find other passive investors at the meetup. Ask them for referrals. You can talk to the speaker that comes in if they are a deal sponsor, whether a syndicator or a fund manager. And it's really just networking with people. And you will be surprised at how you can expand your range of possible sponsors to work with just by going to meetups and meeting and asking questions. So meetups is almost kind of like a conference, not quite, but it's an excellent source for potential referrals. And number 5 is we have Facebook groups, and then we have message boards. So Bigger Pockets is a great resource. A lot of people are big fans of Bigger Pockets. You can go ask questions, ask members there for referrals. It's not as good as in person or asking for a referral from a friend of yours, but still it's a great way to add people to your sponsor list at the top and put them through your process. This is all about prospecting, really. And just like an active real estate investor prospects for sellers and brokers and those deal opportunities, you are prospecting for good sponsors. So these are 5 ways that you can increase your deal flow. Think about it as a funnel. So many people, like I said before, so many passive investors don't think of it as a funnel, but it really is. And you are really in the business of investing in passive real estate opportunities. So really think of this as a marketing funnel, and I guarantee your deal flow will increase. If you are a passive real estate investor and you're interested in learning more about the deals I'm currently looking at, head on over to callseth.com and set up a free 20-minute phone call. And if you like this video, if you found this useful, hit the like button. It really means a lot and helps the channel grow. Leave a comment, let me know what you think. It helps the algorithm. And until next time, happy investing.